If you are seeking the pathway to the stars, come to me. I pray for your safe arrival with all my heart. The pathway to the stars.
We can't imagine all of the incredible moments that you all experienced there. I heard you talk about witnessing an earth set, earth set, earth set. And just hearing the word earth set made my eyes water because I love watching sunsets so much. And so an earth set, explain to us what an earth set is.
Yes, please explain what a earth set is. I mean, how does an earth set when it spins and turns and spins and turns?
As you're going around the far side of the moon, you get the privilege of watching the only planet that we know houses life. The only planet that we know houses life. The only planet that we know houses life.
Huh? That must have been a slip up. Let's keep going.
The only planet that we know houses life. Set behind the moon, just like when you're at the beach and you watch the sunset over the waves and you can just see the sun start to evaporate down into the atmosphere. There's no atmosphere on the moon, but we could certainly watch as our home planet started to set. When the sun sets, you see it start to misshape through the atmosphere. If you're at the beach and you look at it when the Earth sets behind the moon, I've said this multiple times in different ways. I've never said it this way.
Remember the slip up he made earlier about life being on the moon?
The only planet that we know houses life.
I think he's trying to correct it now. Listen.
But you know for a fact the moon cannot sustain life because there is no atmosphere. And as you're watching in crystal clarity with your human eye, the Earth setting behind the moon, you can see the craters and the mountains on the moon in the Earth setting behind the moon because there is no atmosphere. It's just crystal clear as that occurs. And then it's gone. In a blink of an eye, it's gone.
Yeah.
The craters of the mountain and the moon in the Earth. Hold on, let's take a look.
The moon, you can see the craters and the mountains on the moon in the Earth.
Let's take a look at some of these old maps of Earth. I think they were showing us moon mountains on Earth. Let's take a look. The moon was also known as an ethereal realm, Antic Thorn, because of the moon region. And this is an old map of the realm, as you can see. And just down below, we have Antic Thorn and mountains of the moon, lunaire.
The moon, you can see the craters and the mountains on the moon in the Earth.
This is an astronomy book from 1896. I want to show you guys a few things in it because I think you will be shocked at how much things have changed and how standard the firmament flat earth model actually was up until the conception of NASA. And you can see it listed here as a required piece of literature for a literary and scientific circle in 1878. And the author was the director of the Chamberlain Observatory at the University of Denver. The very first thing in the book is Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. I really think that when this talks about Earth, it's talking about the firmament. Mother Earth is actually the spirit of the firmament in mythology. Most of the dark hemisphere of the moon is also visible. The Earth plays the part of a mirror and reflects back a portion of the sunlight which it receives. Some of this reflected sunlight lights up the dark side of the moon so that we can see it. A resemblance to terrestrial seas and continents, and say that the moon exhibits a reflection of the Earth as though it were a mirror. The moon exhibits a reflection of the Earth as though it were a mirror. The moon exhibits a reflection of the Earth as though it were a mirror.
Everything in this reality is designed to make us fearful, and this starts right at birth. Interestingly enough, the patron deity of this city was the Akkadian moon god known as Sin, and it has been said over and over again to humanity that man is born in sin. Man bit the apple to then be continuously reborn in his and her Apple iPods, which becomes an unrepayable debt. What is the Merriam-Webster's #1 dictionary definition of the English word debt? Sin. to pay the debt of sin, which is the price of our birth and birth in the moon. Remember that the 7 days of the week do not include an earth day, since man is truly born in sin, the moon. The ancient accounts and stories of the man on the moon is literally about mankind in the moon. We are all the children in the attic, so to speak, and this will become clearer as we go along.
Right now, they are prideful and parading around with all of their things that are directly connected to Baal worship. Even the White House, I found this out a few weeks ago. Look at the front door, and then look at the archway of Baal that they actually had put up in DC for a time during one of their satanic holidays. They had this archway put up. They say it's for the sake of art. Well, why the specific replica of the archway of Baal, especially since we look at the design on it and it looks eerily similar to the front door of the White House? That's what you're seeing, a side-by-side comparison of these two doors, and they look not identical, but very similar, as if they had some inspiration for their design. And so this stuff is right there in our faces for a reason. We have a choice who we're going to serve. Are we going to be grafted into the olive tree that our Father knew thousands of years before science had 46 chromosomes?
During the 1840s and 1850s, New Haven had seen a great deal of development. A new ferry service, the arrival of the railway and enlargement of the harbour. These improvements made the town of even greater strategic importance. Especially at 56 miles, it is the closest south coast port to London.
Whenever I see the word haven, there is always a connection to do with the moon. The Truman Show, for example. Truman's hometown is Sea Haven, and Sea Haven is under a dome. Lunette is the shape of a dome or a crescent moon. Christoph the architect is located inside the moon. And the sci-fi series Moonhaven is also about a utopian colony living on the moon 100 years into the future.
The technology to save our world is coming. Over the last century, we have turned a corner. We are on the verge of the climate that no longer seeks to destroy us. The mission of Moonhaven isn't simply about solving the crushing problems of our planet. It's about solving us. Welcome to Moonhaven.
Moonhaven isn't a people. It's a purpose.
It takes a while to get used to this.
I get that this is supposed to be our future, but you and I know darkness finds a way.
What is the definition of born? It is the past participle of the word bear, which is the reason that mothers are said to bear children. Children that arrive bare naked into this reality. By definition, to bear something is to also take on the debts of another person. What debts? The price of sin, of course. The price that one pays to be born in sin, the moon. The same moon that also came to rescue you from sin. This is why the Sumerian Anunnaki lord known as Enki said that the first things are the last things. We are born in sin, the moon, and we all die in sin, again the moon. This is the basis for the white light program that people see at their death when they are welcomed by the false representation of their loved ones. The terminal that everyone goes to during their departure from this reality.
Find here's the builders. The builders are mapping out in a dance. They're mapping out what the people coming out of the mountain need to do, telling them what the instructions are. And then they stop and they watch and they wait for more to be built.
TV.